This is the Conscious Hour, and it's February 9th. I'm going to do something different that I haven't done. I've got two TVs here. I'm going to kind of mesh something together, so bear with me. I'm not the best high technology person for video recording. So Netanyahu's in a bind. Okay, he's using Trump to be the bully, and he wants him to attack Iran. Netanyahu's been saying that they have, potential of nuclear weapons. That's a lie. They only have reactors and they're processing uranium to run the reactors. But he has a bunker, and everybody's getting prepared because they know that Iran has done some really great reverse engineering, and they have new whole hypersonic missiles that go up to Mach 16, but they also have missiles that'll probably penetrate any bunker. And where's Netanyahu going to hide out if this thing turns into a full fledged war? In a bunker. Watch this really quickly, and then I'll be merging into another piece of this puzzle.
Verified across the most rigorous public reporting, but the strategic logic of the fear is very real. If your enemy can learn how your keys work, guidance, fusing, penetration design, then what used to be a one-way advantage starts to look like a boomerang. And for a leader like Netanyahu, who has built his brand on deterrence theater, the possibility of a reverse engineered surprise is exactly the kind of nightmare that makes the bunker feel less like paranoia and more like habit. Now, here's where it gets even more revealing. The bunker story isn't just about Iran. It's about Netanyahu's entire political condition, governing from a shrinking room, surrounded by crises he helped create, while insisting everybody else is to blame for the fire outside. At the same time, Israel is again recalibrating around Iran diplomacy and US military posture in the region. Netanyahu is fighting a war on multiple internal fronts, coalition fractures that can topple his government, a draft exemption battle with ultra-Orthodox partners that threatens to jam the budget by the end of March, and a public demand for a real, independent reckoning over October 7th that he keeps trying to smother with selective releases and political inquiries designed to protect him. And while So now we're merging into Mahmoud, and Netanyahu was supposed to go visit Trump in 2 weeks, but he has an emergency meeting and he wants to go talk to Trump right now. So he's, of course, flown over there to talk to Trump. What does he want to talk to Trump about? Well, those Epstein files, Trump's like involved with it. Netanyahu has, pardon the expression, Trump by the cojones because he's got a lot more information that the public has not been released. And do you think that Netanyahu would sacrifice Trump for his own self? Absolutely. Okay, let's get into Mahmoud and see what Mahmoud's doing as far as putting together this wonderful quick trip to go see Trump.
Article this was mentioned in Israel. Netanyahu's message to Trump, the reasons for the hasty trip, and is an attack on Iran no longer on the agenda? Now, they're confirming here. Netanyahu is going 2 weeks earlier to the United States. His visit was planned for ahead of the. His visit was planned 2 weeks ahead. He's making it earlier now, and he's going there because he's very concerned. The talks started between America and Iran, and they are worried, the Israelis, that something might happen without addressing the Israeli needs and the Israeli demands. Therefore, Netanyahu is going there. But why is he going there? As in, the Israelis said everything that they have to say. They said what their demands are, and the Israeli demands are not only reducing the enrichment of uranium, but completely canceling the nuclear program altogether, stopping to enrich uranium, getting all of the enriched uranium outside of the country, the return of the inspections, including surprise inspections, limiting the missile range to 300 kilometers, stopping the support for the resistance fronts, alongside an extensive list that Netanyahu might actually add more to. And the Israeli officials, they already said that to their American counterparts, but Benjamin Netanyahu is going.
So imagine what he just said. What he said. This is what Netanyahu is going to say. No, you can't have anything. We want to stop you from having any defense from us. We want you to give up your sovereignty, and we want to take control of your country. Well, how's that going to fly? And he wants to limit their missile systems. Why? Because he's scared, pardon shitless, because of one reason. Their missiles can go Mach 12 to Mach 16, like faster than anything that anybody could ever imagine. And don't you think they have penetrating missiles that will go into deep bunkers? You bet. They learned that from Netanyahu. Let's keep going with this one.
Himself. He's going himself because of this. Senior Israeli official, listen to this statement here, noted that every time Netanyahu and Trump entered a closed room and the prime minister represented Israel's real security needs, the American president was there for us. And now Netanyahu wants to make sure that Trump does not back down from the red lines that were agreed upon in the previous summit at Mar-a-Lago, as well as talks by the American envoy Steve Witkoff and his meetings with the heads of the defense establishment. So, in a closed room, why is there a need for the two leaders of the country to meet in a closed room without anyone else listening? Of course, there might be some surveillance, but I'm talking about the officials there, not listening, not being present, not witnessing what goes on in this conversation. And is the American president being blackmailed at that instant over there when he is with Benjamin Netanyahu? Is Netanyahu extorting him? Is Netanyahu blackmailing him? Is Netanyahu actively telling him or giving him hints or codes in that meeting that, listen, if that's not going to happen, this will happen? The previous British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that after Netanyahu visited him, he found his staff found spying devices in his bathroom. And Netanyahu actively participates in the actions of his state. He's not just the prime minister, so he does certain things. By the way, Boris Johnson said that after Netanyahu went to the toilet, which means Netanyahu himself planted the device inside the toilet, acting like the chief spy of his own country. Okay, what is he telling Donald Trump in those meetings? He's telling Donald Trump that if he does not publish the information, if he does not go ahead with, he's telling Donald Trump, if he does not go ahead with the Israeli demands, certain information will be published that he is not necessarily going to be very happy with. That's mostly.
So, what is it? It's the Epstein. It's the real deep truth of Donald Trump and how dark he is, his pedophilia, everything. Netanyahu has all of the information. Remember Mossad. Remember Jeffrey Epstein. You think that Netanyahu doesn't have the real information? Sure he does. That's his trump card, no pun intended. This is the Conscious Hour. If you like my analysis, if you like what you're hearing here, different than the Western media, because you'll never see this on the Western media, please join, subscribe to the Conscious Hour, and please donate to the 501c3. Any money that comes in goes directly to the Palestinians to help them survive. Please tune in, turn on, speak out, and remember one thing. Pick up the phone, call your congressional representatives, tell them to shut down any funding, any further push toward a war. But good luck if they even respond. But leave your message on the phone. And the last one is tell them to call out the National Guard, shut down ICE. The National Guard took an oath to uphold, the Constitution, and ICE is definitely violating it. Thanks for tuning in at the Caution Hour. Please share it with everyone you know and don't know, and please hit the like button.